honestly.
Hey, Chris, how are you? How you been?
Robert, I am
It's a new week. It's a new weekly dose. Deuce. Dose.
Maybe that's what we should call it, the weekly juice.
Deuce.
The weekly juice.
Deuce.
Like the Big Lebowski. Yes, I am good, Rob.
Good.
I'm as good as a person can be.
Can I hear myself over your headphones there, I think?
Can you? Let me just...
Are they a little loud? Just turn it down.
Turn her down. Is that it now?
There you go. Cool.
Okay. I'm downstairs, as I was previously saying, and there could be some echo, but there all could be some crying, mainly from me.
It's all good. Yes. Don't worry about it.
There's no worries, Rob. There's no worries. It's a nice space, if only it were slightly less populated with crying children.
I have 2 stories, Chris.
Rob, I have 3.
How many do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do yours first then?
Yes. Will I?
Please.
Okay. My first one is Photoworks. You know how I am always attracted to Photoworks. Of
course.
Rob? Of course. It's one of my go-to interesting thoughts. Every in the morning I wake up and I look at these things and I give myself 20 minutes before I rise from my pit to take some earthly signs of brilliance into my head before venturing out into the cruel world of photography. So I can daydream and relax at the same time. So anyway, this is by, now let me think of this, Lucia Pizzani.
Lucia?
What did I say? Lucia? Why have I such a problem with names? Anyway, Lucia.
It's all right.
Lucia, 1975 Venezuelan photographer.
She's not here to slap you.
Well, not yet. No doubt we'll probably bump into each other in some amazing festival at Arles at some point. I'm going to read this. Her work addresses gender, body, and nature and incorporates a mixture of photography, performance, installation, sculpture, and video. Now I've moved into the performance-y side of stuff. Maybe I'm moving into a wee bit of video. So this is whenever my Google searches come up, this is why we land on these things. So anyway, this is about work she made the first lockdown in London. And it's right up my street. I don't know if it would be up your street, Rob. I'm not so sure if it would be up your street. I was trying to figure that out whenever I was looking at it this week. I was like, would Rob like this? Because I do let you pick things that you like. For years, I've been working around the idea of a second skin, an outer layer that protects us from exterior threats. Now that got me hooked. I say this whenever people instills photography, you get a lot of, you're in my eye line. Would you mind not taking a photograph?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So whenever people that happens to me, okay, what I do is I let the camera absorb it. And then whenever I put the camera in the bag, it falls off, and then I just hoover the bag out once a week. And all this.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's my second skin, kinda. But anyway, I kind of like the thing. So it started with ceramic work. I textured clay with snake-like feeling, and then I photographed the sculptures placed in my body. After that, I started doing photograms with actual snake skin, and the one that they shed after molding, a transparent membrane that retains its texture. I don't think I need to say much more than that, but what I am going to say is it's collage-y. She won't like me saying that, but it's collage-y. It also reminds me a touch of Claire. I have a big thing up in the window that may fall down, by the way. A new big piece of art that I'll fire the camera around, and you can see I was painting today, Rob.
Nice.
I know, God love me. Claire Strand's work, Snake. It is. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's reminiscent of it. What's the right way to put that? It
reminds you.
It reminds me. It gives me a similar feeling. Sure. Let's say. Sure. That's not to do Claire's work down, or indeed this work down. It's just absolutely, the colours are beautiful, the textures are beautiful, the way the work has been carried out is just brilliant, and it's everything I'm kind of at the minute. I'm really, I'm into collage anyway, but this is intelligent collage. I'm sure that they won't like me saying that. I'm sure. I mean, we got a letter from them saying that they didn't, that really shite podcast you done, Chris. But it's interesting. And if it piques you, then good for you.
Good.
The link will be in the what? Yeah, the link will be down below, won't it, Rob?
Sure it will.
With my couple of sentences of explanation.
Yes, those sentences you write every week for the weekly dose.
Rob,
Thank you very much for doing that, Chris. I know it's a lot of effort to describe two goddamn sentences.
I'm such a poor friend. I'm letting so many people down of late, Rob. I'm a letter downer, and it doesn't rest easy in my shoulders. I want you to know that. It lies heavily in my heart.
Does it?
It fucking sure it does. Yeah, it absolutely does. I'm really poor at it. I'm really bad at it. It's the most irritating thing in the world to me.
It's all right. We're going to hook up for coffee next week, right?
Yeah, definitely.
One day?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
One day? Yeah, I can do tomorrow, I think. If I can.
I got a van rental return, but yeah, outside of that,
what would you have?
Totally
what are we renting the van for? You photographed pretty boys again?
Oh, just real quickly, this is not my story, but yeah, it's I did a remote shoot on Saturday. So this is the scenario. The photographer is in Los Angeles. The subject is in Belfast. And I basically supply the lighting, grip, gaffer. I do all that stuff. Digital tech, I do it all on this end of things. And the photographer creates the mood, the poses. He orients the lights the way he wants them, and I do that.
Am I allowed to say that? Will it look like your work?
Nope. No, it won't. Nope. Absolutely not. Nope. It's totally the Los Angeles photographer's work.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm doing is just moving lights, moving flags, turning the camera this way, that way, raising it, lowering it, whatever.
That's difficult.
Considering I thought originally that we only had 15 minutes with the subject.
Oh, really?
We ended up having 2 hours.
You're not going to do that stuff in 15 minutes.
Wow. I've done it before in 3 minutes. So
no, I know
it can be done,
but not remotely. Set and fly.
No, not remotely. Remotely, it is difficult. I mean, we're talking about an internet lag.
Did you have a gaffer? Did you have a gaffer
there? Yeah.
You did?
This guy right here.
Oh, so you really? Okay, I get you. You might have more work coming up, Rob. Let me tell you.
It was me. I did it all.
Okay.
Anyways, it was all good. It was all great. I'd say if anybody wants to do remote shooting like that, you need to make sure that you really have a high-speed internet connection to the photographer, the director, whoever.
Did they not have any in that studio? No, it wasn't great.
No, what we ended up doing was the actual subject, which was great. The subject brought his little TP router.
Mm-hmm.
So he brought a TP router that had a SIM card insert that he could put the phone card from his SIM card into the TP router and create his own 4G, 5G network.
Okay.
So I worked off his phone.
Is he the lead in it? One of the leads.
What, the subject?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
Okay.
I honestly don't.
Well, it's a big name, obviously.
Yeah. So anyhow, it all sort of worked, but there was a little bit of internet lag. So unfortunately, as the photographer shoots, they're trying to wait for the image to come up on their screen through Capture One.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, it's difficult in that sense, and it's sort of tense that, you're waiting, you're trying to direct the model, but you're waiting to see the last photo that came throrough, and, it kind of gets to that. And
did you have a lookbook? Did you have a mood?
Nope. No. Did I have a lookbook?
Yeah. Of sorts?
Not really. No. He the photographer, he sent me just a couple of reference shots, so I had an idea of what the lighting was.
Mm-hmm.
So we roughed in the lighting on Friday afternoon at my studio.
Mm-hmm.
and we made sure that the connection between Capture One and Zoom worked properly. And
that's a lot of
that was all good.
That's a lot of things to go wrong.
Yeah, but nothing went wrong, Chris.
No, but I'm saying that. I know, but I'm saying that
it all went really well. I was quite impressed. So after 2 hours, we did 2 sets. So 2 scenarios, one on white and then one within situ. And that was in one of the studios down at Titanic. That was great.
The situ's better, I'd say.
I don't know. I don't know.
Are they going to do cutouts? No. Maybe?
No.
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. No, I get you. Well, Rob, I had something very similar this week.
Did you?
Well, not similar, but I had a meeting with art directors and everything else from TV Land. And they were talking me through...
TV Land, the channel?
No, TV Land, the place.
Oh.
Or Film Land. Film and TV Land.
TV Land is a channel in North America.
Oh, is it? No, it was creative director.
Yeah, it's a retro TV.
No, this is for America, but it's not TV Land. But this was I think people like this. Probably interests people. It was with creative directors and photo editors and all this. I think there was 5 people all together, executive producers, and they were talking me through iconics and specials that we're going to be taking next month or this month. Yeah, maybe this month or next month, with regards to achievable outcomes and all that sort of stuff. And you know what, Rob? I have to say that it is. You see, with regards, all that stuff, hiring vans, props, lights, all that sort of stuff. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's enjoyable. But it is definitely. What I'm doing now is I've got lookbooks and I've got all the sort of moods and colours and everything else. And you're just, from now to whenever it's going to happen, 2 or 3 weeks, I just have it visualised in my head exactly what I need to do. I kind of talk it over to myself. Now, that's maybe not the right way to do it. I don't know. And we'll have no time to set up and mess about. It'll kind of be just getting it up and doing it, seeing how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Rob, you haven't even told me your first story. I hope it's about somebody being sued.
No, Chris. It's about a body of work. It's about a body of work from Steve Eichner. Now, Steve is a photographer in New York City, and he's releasing a book now called In the Limelight. And it's basically... Look. No, don't do that. What are you drinking there, Chris?
Water. Evian.
White wine?
No, actually, strangely enough, not.
Red wine?
I've stopped. No, I've stopped drinking.
Straight vodka?
No, absolute fizzy water.
Oh, good for you.
Listen. You hear it?
Yeah, that's great.
That's the bubbles person on my nose.
So see, Steve Eichner, he did all these great party photographs from the 90s in New York City.
Oh, so basically socialite stuff.
Yeah, so it's awesome. It's great stuff, like Leonardo DiCaprio, in his youth.
Lovely.
Robert De Niro, Debbie Harry, like all these people in this party atmosphere within these clubs, looking at the camera, mugging to the camera, doing all this cool stuff. Yeah, it's great. I mean, just totally, back in the 90s.
High color, lots of crimson reds.
Color. Yeah. On camera flash.
Lovely.
So, that real sort of harshness. And, I went to New York for the first time, I think in 1991.
Unbelievable.
And I went maybe three or four times after that, up until probably about 96. So I went like, I don't know, every year or something like that. And every year was just amazing. I mean, New York City is its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I didn't go to any nightclubs. I always went, with my partner at the time, and, we'd go to restaurants and we'd do the nightlife and
the many partners,
the gentle nightlife, mostly comedy clubs and stuff like that.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought you'd have went to comedy clubs?
Oh, dude, addicted to it. Olivia and I used to go to the Empire for comedy, because that's, it's the only place that you can get comedy here.
She certainly married a clown.
Yeah.
I love you, Rob. I'm only joking, of course. I am being facetious. I'm drinking white wine, Rob. You're drinking harder liquor because you're taking smaller sips.
Just grape juice.
Really? Red?
Yeah. So anyhow.
Yes.
Now, the weird thing is Steve Eichner, the photographer, is the brother to Billy Eichner. And it's kind of a little cool, connection. I don't know. All you need to do is Google Billy on the street, and you'll see Steve Eichner's brother doing New York the way only Billy Eichner could do New York. It's great stuff. It's hilarious.
Billy on the street with Emma Stone.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Is it a joke?
No. No, he's a comedian.
There he is in the Rolling Stone. A nice shot of him in New York.
It's good stuff. Anyways, Steve's book. It's really nice. There'll be a link in the description below.
Okay. I'm just looking at it now. There's some nice stuff there. 2011 TV series, Billy on the Street. Maybe we should change our name to. That doesn't work. Chris and Rob on the Street. It sounds like we're homeless, doesn't it? It doesn't work the same way.
It might be after tonight.
Fuck. Well, I might be after tonight. Trust me. But anyway, that's a different side of stuff, isn't it? Rejecting my next story, Rob.
Go ahead, Chris.
My next story is by We Present. Okay, I should look other places. I should look other places, but I just stick with what you know. But if it's not broken,
Hey, dude, they're a rich resource of great talent.
This is nice because it's kind of crazy. Okay, there's lots of crazy stuff on it. This is by now. I'm going to go and try and get this right. Karolina Jonderko, Jonderko. Jonderko. Maybe Jonderko. Who knows? Who would know? But there it is. Make up your own mind.
She would.
Well, she would. Well, would she, Rob? Would she?
I hope so.
Would she? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. Okay. I wanted to capture their daily life as a mother. Okay. It's the start of the whole thing. The babies in the photographs weigh what a baby might weigh. They look lifelike. They have a birth certificate and often a name, and even small, real, but they aren't real. They're made of vinyl, frap fabric, alpaca hair, and women from around the world are buying them. They have been told they can't have children or might have lost a baby in childbirth. They may yearn for companionship or routine, or simply feel that they need something to nurture or look after. So basically it's about a project called Reborn, and it's photographing them as they take care of the little ones as long as they need to. And it is one part bizarre, but in another part very moving. I think that there's a few images in it where you're just like, they're descriptively taken, let's say. But there are other ones that you're just like, okay, there's a girl in a pink jacket, holding a little doll and, looking into the eyes, and she's holding it for all intents and purposes like it's a real baby. But there's something in her manner that you're like, there's more to it than meets the eye. It can't be judged or mocked or laughed at. And the first time I held one of them, it did something to my brain. So that the image, there's not an extraordinary amount of images on it, but the ones that are there are definitely super interesting. And it's just, it says here, I didn't want to take advantage of them like the mass media does. So you can see how easy it would be to. There's actually a lady where I live, and she walks around one of the supermarkets with one in a shopping trolley, and I followed her about one day for like 4 or 5 minutes just to see people's reactions, and people are cruel. You know what I mean? People are.
Oh yeah.
People are cruel.
Oh yeah.
There's no.
Oh, yeah.
There's no.
You know what then, Chris?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Say something.
No, I know, Rob, but it's not the person. I didn't know
Fucking say something. I've said it before to people.
Yeah, I know, but
like
the person.
There's this fucking mentality in this country where it's none of your goddamn business.
No, I know, but the person with the person involved doesn't look as though it would do them any favors by me starting a scene. But it's interesting to see. So this work resonates, and I think it's one of those things that it's a story that is super interesting. And the other thing is that these babies are, by all intents and purposes, they look 100% real. I imagine the only reason why you can't tell they're real is because there's only by a matter of time do they breathe. I imagine, but there's one of the photographs as a young kid lying in a pram holding it, and it's holding a baby, and it's just remarkable. It's remarkable, very moving. So worth looking at, but also looking at, we always bang on about ethics and stuff. But, it's good enough you look at this work not to just take it in face value, to think about the ethical dilemmas that the person involved in the work must have to go through. Don't just look at it. Don't just look at the images and think, oh, they're well taken, or it's an interesting subject. Think a wee bit behind that. Think if you were doing the project, how would you set about that? You know what I mean? Because I think that for me is where the learning comes in. We can all take photographs. We can all come up with ideas to take photographs, but how they're taken, and obviously why they're taken, is really interesting. This talks about a BBC documentary called My Fake Baby in 2012. Anyway, it's about therapy and everything else. My wee doggies whinging. Rob, that's my second. 2 stories, Rob. I'm 2 stories in. 2 stories bar.
You're 2 stories deep.
2 stories deep. Leah's getting up now. Leah's getting down the stairs. She's cross. Yeah, she's not cross. It's okay. I might have to get up and let Harry out to the back door in a second.
All right.
Tell me your story.
My second and last story is...
Second and last? Jesus.
This is one of the most redundant... I don't know. So Canon has announced... Or no, they haven't announced, but there's the rumor they're going to be releasing some new lenses.
The Z18.
Some new lenses.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Canon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. Lenses.
All right.
Yeah. It's okay. That's Nikon and bodies. Canon is going to release some new tilt shift lenses. You're right there?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm listening.
Okay.
That's Harry. That's not me.
Oh, okay. Canon is going to be releasing some new tilt shift lenses. Tilt shift.
Mm-hmm.
That are autofocus.
Shut up. How does that work?
I don't know. And at the end of the day,
who cares?
Who fucking cares?
Part of the joy of a tilt shift is it's not autofocus.
Well, the whole idea is that, you're tilting and you're shifting and you're selecting your focus.
Yeah.
You select your focus, you manually focus it in, and then you change the tilt a little bit more and you shift it over a little bit more. That's the whole idea. Why why do I need to autofocus this?
So you can be 5 seconds quicker than the 25 minutes you already weren't quicker. That's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy.
So you know what they're doing? God love Canon. They're sitting in a room and they're like, okay,
what are we doing next?
Yeah, what's Sony not doing? What have Sony not done yet? Better sensors.
So
Faster
unless these lenses, these new RF lenses for the new mount, unless they are incredibly sharper than the old EF lenses, which people are using with the mount adapter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, and it's fine. And Sony users are using Canon tilt shift lenses.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. We know lots of people who are using that stuff. Why would you design a whole new lens just to do that stuff, just to autofocus?
Because they're trying to be first in the market at something. That's all. Trying to be first in the market at something. They're on their way out, Rob.
Canon is.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to worry about Canon on their way out. Well, look, dude, Olympus is still there. Pentax is still there.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, I don't mean
Fuji
and
Nikon
bust.
are still there.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I should say Nikon before Fuji, but
But you know what, Rob? I've been sitting editing mercilessly, sitting editing, trying to go between image. Maybe you've taken 5 shots or 6 shots of the one scene, maybe 7, 8, and you're sitting down and you're trying to decide which one to use. Now, before it would have been down to sharpness and all the stuff that can mess up an image. With Sony and the lenses, it's you're into really looking very closely at eyes. You're into looking very closely at hand gestures. It's a different way of reading. It's a different way of visually reading images. Whenever you're editing stuff, it's no longer to do with is something sharp. I have to say I found 4 images out of 800 that weren't sharp, and it shook me. It shook me to the core. They were completely out of focus, and I was like, I can't remember the last time that happened. But because Sony is just pin sharp 99.9% of the time.
Yep. For the most part, if you got all your settings right,
if
your
100%.
subject's not moving around.
Yeah. It's an absolute dream on one half, and it's an absolute nightmare on the other, because you're now into having to go into one-to-ones and really, really go around.
It's a lot of editing. Yeah,
it's a lot of editing. But you know what the joy is, that whenever you get it, I was doing I had 3 shots out tonight to send to the publicist, and it literally came down to the direction of the subject's eyes.
Cool.
It came down to the one set of eyes being pushed over, kind of suspiciously looking out the right hand side of their eye. That's what that was, and that's one shot out of I don't know, many 800 shots. You bring it down to 150. And
Chris, you're going to have to show me those images when we have coffee this week.
I will show it to you. Yeah, I'll bring 2. Right. I'll bring the 3, and you can decide for yourself.
All right.